Are we back? Are we back? Hey, we're back on a fucking Monday. This is weird.
I'm the bad boy on the corner.
I can make
so
up
move from because we are dangerous.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why that started, but I'm all for it.
Yeah. Dangerous.
So I learned. Oh wait. Of course, we are at Put 'em Up Deux.
PUTEMUPDEUX.
On the at HDicky Network, at HDIKY, and at HDAKY with the number 1 at the end
Who
of it.
you is? Tell me who you is.
Oh yeah. Hey, baby. Manny Montana.
LB Manny Montana.
And okay. So I learned a lot last night about during the Mayweather and is it Logan? Is it just
Logan.
Paul? What's his last name?
Paul.
I'm gonna say Paul because I get them too mixed up.
Okay.
I learned a lot. I learned that people don't understand what exhibitions are. I learned that people don't understand that it's very easy to last in a fight when you outweigh somebody by 40 or 50 pounds and you're like 6 or 7 inches taller than them. And I also learned that people don't understand when you're protected and people are throwing mad punches and none of it is landing. Everybody thinks that he's getting hurt.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And I also learned, I'm just going to keep going. I also learned that people don't, again, this goes along the lines of not understanding exhibitions, that they're like, oh, he shouldn't be doing this. He shouldn't be doing this because of this and because of this and because of this. I'm like, he's getting paid a shitload of money to basically do a sparring session. Why wouldn't he do it? Your overall thoughts of the fight, my good man?
Oh, so it happened. Oh boy.
That shit was
that was trash. That was a big bowl of gabagool.
Yeah, gabagool.
Gabagool.
I'm so happy we didn't pay for it. I mean,
yeah, we paid $50 for
a guy
it.
because somebody else that was
pesos.
there paid for it, and we happened to be watching.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. Logan Paul, man. Okay. I respect you. You got your bag. Nobody can take that away from you. You were famous on YouTube for doing dumb shit, for opening mystery boxes, for doing dumb shit like that. And you got to fight probably the best boxer in the world for his time. I mean, probably top 3 or 4 all time, maybe top all time. I can't knock you for that. No. What I can knock you for is, dude, you're built like the Incredible Hulk, but you punch like a 40-year-old suburban mom doing Taibo trying to get her beach body back. You had 3 years. You're a millionaire. You have 3 years. 3 years of training, in your own words. And you still don't know how to throw a punch, bro. And now you're taking a victory lap after beating a 44-year-old man that hasn't fought in 4 years. Right. That was 6 inches shorter than you, probably weighed 50 pounds less, and you're taking a victory lap talking about you survived. That's like fucking the hottest girl in school, but come to find out you lasted 2 pumps. Like, cool story, bro. Like,
right.
You did do that, but...
Yeah, you're right.
Like, you won maybe the first round, I guess? If that?
Yeah.
The rest of the time you held on to him like you were trying to make out, like... Right. I guess that's an accomplishment. I don't really know what to like.
And bro, like, what? Why not go all out if you have all these advantages and if you really want to do this fight? Why the fuck were you just like pity patting the entire fight and running and holding and why are you taking a victory lap after that? I don't get it. I agree with everything you said. You got your money, blah blah blah. You were in the ring with the legend. Yeah, that's great. But why not go out with the actual story? If you're gonna go and try to knock him out, what a hell of a story that would be. If you get knocked out, what a hell of a story that would be as well. You're supposed to last in a fight with somebody that you have that much weight over and height over. This may or may not be true, but if I go in there and fight, what's the smallest weight class?
Like straw weight or something?
Yeah, what's that, like 100?
105, 108, might be atom weight. I don't know what it's called. But
put the champ in there and put me in there. I guarantee you I could go 8 rounds. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Because I will just do what you do. I'm not going to fucking risk getting hurt. I'm going to stay off. I'm going to keep him here. It's going to be like fucking The Simpsons.
Throw a pity pat jab, and as soon as he gets close, you're going to grab him.
Yeah. He can't do anything because I outweigh him by that much. I've sparred people that were 200 and 220 pounds that don't know much about boxing, and they last in the session with me because anytime I'm hitting them, it's just going off of their forearms because I weigh right now like 165. I fluctuate between there. if I were to get down to fighting weight at 140, it just doesn't work, man. Like the punches go off and you can't risk that much. So Mayweather was like trying to work his way in, but you can't risk that much because any little hit from him is gonna be like 5 of yours. It's just weight. So you can't just go in there and go all out. So everybody that was giving Mayweather shit, I'm like, why don't you just go in there and fucking do it when you can? Because he outweighs you by that much.
And he did. Did they not watch him walk him down? He walked him down half the time.
Yep.
And every time he walked him down and tried to force Logan to fight, Logan started trying to make out.
Yep.
So what do you want him to do?
Yeah.
The last person Mayweather knocked out was Victor Ortiz 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. He's now a 44-year-old old man. He did slow down. You can totally tell he's gotten older. Like everybody, he is
looks
human.
great, though.
He looks great, but he's still human.
Yep.
What were they expecting? How are you supposed to knock down somebody that much bigger than you that doesn't want to fight? That's the key thing. It's really hard to knock somebody out that's not trying to fight, that's trying to survive when they're that much bigger than you.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing he could do.
Everybody in the house and in the room were saying, like, they were expecting some kind of knockout from somebody, and I was like, no, I think it's going to go the full 8 rounds. I'm a little scared that Mayweather might get caught with a lucky punch because he's that much bigger and that much taller. So I was surprised at everybody's opinions in the room, and, usually it's just the 3 of us watching fights, but we had people over, and I was just surprised by their opinions, not in a negative way. I was just really curious as to what people thought this was.
We got a good idea of what casual fans view the sport as, and it was way different than the way I view it.
Absolutely.
I was like, Logan didn't do jack shit, and they were like, look at him, he's in there, he's hanging in there. Like what? No, he's not.
Like, guys, there's weight classes for a reason, and I'm not knocking anybody that was in the room. It was very nice to hear it.
I know, I love your friends. They were dope.
Yeah, it was
just weird to hear that they actually thought he was doing good and that Mayweather was in danger. I'm like, no. He landed like 3 clean punches and they had nothing on him.
Right, and like all the punches that he was the first round when he was like, I knew he was gonna do that.
That looked like some ghetto shit, like some fights like you saw when you were like 8, where people were just windmilling each other like rock 'em sock 'em. It was funny as hell.
So it was shocking, man, and it went exactly as I thought. I can't think of anything else to say on this.
I do hope Mayweather's done.
Me too.
I hope no more exhibition. We're done. Right off into the sunset. Just train some people, man.
I wouldn't be mad at some more exhibitions if it's like, like with the Asian dude that he did it with, or somebody his own size. That's great.
Yeah.
But this was just boring.
Yeah, it was awful. I mean, after the first round, I was like, man, I'd rather watch a sex tape with Whoopi Goldberg and Donald Trump than this shit. This is so fucking boring. Like,
it was so boring.
Sloppy. Like, Logan's throwing a jab. His hand's super low. He's not throwing the jab at the right distance. It was like the boxing nerd in me was like, no, take a step forward before you punch from there. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So it was just hard to turn that off and just enjoy it for what it was.
And I saw some Instagram videos of people showing a highlight of the like 1 or 2 punches that Logan landed and being like, oh, like he caught. I'm like, guys, again, he is supposed to. He's this much bigger and this much. He didn't win the fight. That's the thing. And I know it's an exhibition, but had there been judges, he would have lost the fight. So what are you proud about?
He's 20-something years old. Mayweather's 44 and a grandpa. Of course you're going to land a punch.
I'm not even factoring the age thing because Mayweather still looks great, and I think he could still like fight people his own size.
Yeah.
But the fucking post-interview or post-fight interview where he's like, anybody could do anything. If I can get out there and do it, you can do it. Bro,
you can get out there and hold a 44-year-old man that's walking you down for 8 rounds?
And I could beat the shit out of a 10-year-old kid. Does that make me Is that impressive? No. So I'm like, you go and talk all this shit and do all this crazy YouTube stuff.
I'm going to knock him out. Hey, Ryan, post about me knocking him out in the 8th round.
And then come out here and say, anybody can do anything if you put your mind to it. No, come on, man. It's a spectacle. You got to a point for doing nonsense in YouTube, and you know, in America, unfortunately, that makes you famous, and now you can pick and choose what you do, and you can say shit like, let me fight Mayweather, and people are going to throw a shitload of money at you, and it happens. So you can't say anybody could do anything if you put your mind to it. Speaking as in boxing, you're just doing spectacle after spectacle, and God bless you for doing it. That's great. I'm glad you're making money. But don't come out here and have your fucking Rocky moment. If I can change, you can change, and other people can change.
It did look like Rocky versus Drago. The size difference was so ridiculous.
And his fucking yellow shorts. And I have nothing else to say on the matter. Do you?
Oh, I thought it was also funny that people online were like, "Oh man, look at this! This fight sucked. Boxing's dead." Mother of God, how many times do we have to explain this? The last real fight Mayweather had was against Andre Berto. Yeah. I don't count the McGregor fight. That was bullshit. Mayweather carried him to make some money. You can view it however you want online, but I don't view that as a real fight. Yeah. The last real fight he had was against Andre Berto in 2015. The man is not a boxer anymore. This was entertainment. This has nothing to do with the sport of boxing other than they had boxing gloves on and were in a boxing ring.
Yeah,
Mayweather's not an active fighter. It has nothing to do with the whole view of the sport. Why are people saying boxing is dead? His last real fight was 6 years ago. Yes. Shut up.
Yes. And are these same people saying that same thing about what happened with Chad Ochocinco and Maxwell? I'm like, do you look at that and then say boxing is dead? It's exactly the same thing. It's a fucking exhibition. People, like, pay attention. Sorry, I feel like I came off super angry, but I'm not. It's just
annoying because it's a false equivalency.
Yeah.
You're talking about a retired guy out of the ring for 6 years fighting a YouTuber. That's not boxing.
Yeah.
Like, let it go. And, like, did you say MMA was dead when Ben Askren got knocked out by Jake Paul?
Oh, well said.
It wasn't an MMA fight, but he's an MMA fighter. Right. Did that hurt the sport of MMA? No.
Right. Yep.
It's a fucking spectacle. Take it for what it is. Do like we did. Don't pay for the shit and watch it for just pure entertainment. I mean, pay for it.
Sure. And you know why? Again, I said this a podcast or 2 podcasts ago. The reason people think MMA is superior is because it's played at bars. So everybody goes to bars, and when you're drunk and you see these knockouts, you think it's the shit. But you're not following these fighters. You don't follow their fucking careers. You don't know what they're doing after that. So when they're like gone, you don't even think about them. You don't know. All you're saying is what you see at the bars. You don't fucking know if the
That's
UFC,
why there's no stars besides McGregor.
And you're not looking at actual numbers. Somebody out there, please. I mean, of course you could Google it, but you don't know the numbers between boxing versus MMA, attendance wise, how much fighters are making,
how much they're making. Mother of God, Dana White's worth $500 million, right. And he paid Kamaru Usman like less than $2 million to fight Jorge Masvidal, who's arguably the second biggest star in their sport. Yep. That shows you alone that the sport is fucked up.
Yep.
Way more than boxing.
Right. So pay attention. Like,
UFC got bought for $4 billion. ESPN gave them a contract for $1.5 billion, yet they pay their champions $2 million for a fight. How does that work?
Guys, I know that's saying, I know it sounds like a lot of money, but you have to look at it from the perspective of somebody that's putting their life on the line, and also somebody that's a professional. And then to be a professional athlete in any sense, you're in like what, the top 1 or top 5? It's not even top 5. Like, it's like top 1% in the world.
Yeah.
You should be making what you're worth. So if you're in the top 1% in the entire world who can do this, and you're making $1 million. Somebody in the financial world is making that at the fucking bottom level. Like, come on, man.
Dana White makes 500 times what his champions make.
And
he doesn't go in the ring.
He doesn't break a sweat.
He organizes everything. Yes, he's an owner now, part owner. But come on, man.
Yeah.
That pay discrepancy is laughable.
Yeah.
So don't tell me boxing's dead. Fuck out of here with that. You want to talk about the undercards?
What'd you think about Ochocinco? We can make it quick.
Look, Ochocinco's athletic, man.
Athletic as fuck.
You can tell he grew up throwing them hood whoppers. I call them the big old overhead, big old ghetto blaster shots. Yeah. I mean, he's athletic. His jab was pretty fast.
Yeah.
The footwork was awkward as fuck, but I mean...
It was so funny to me because you guys know everybody in the hood fights with their strong hand up.
Yeah.
So I know, like, he came out and Will Lamar was like, oh, fuck, he's southpaw. And I was like, I don't think he's a southpaw.
Yeah, you were right.
I think he just has his strong hand up because he didn't really have time to prepare. And it takes a long time to build this, like, weak hand up to make a strong jab. So if you don't have the time, of course, you're just going to keep this one up. The second he threw a left hand, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm 100% right.
Yeah.
He's a right-handed dude fighting with his right hand up.
Yeah.
And I'm not happy that he got knocked down because I have anything against Ochocinco. I love Chad Ochocinco.
Yeah.
I was happy that he got knocked down because I hope it gives people trying to do this a little more pause and a little more caution to be like, let me be not so quick to go out there and try to box and be the next celebrity out here boxing. Because you need to be taught this lesson. And it wasn't a vicious knockdown. He wasn't hurt. But it took his ego and his pride down just a little bit.
Yeah. I love what he said after the fight. He kept saying, this shit is hard, man. Yeah, man. This shit is hard. Yep. And I hope people saw that because this ain't a game, man. Yep. You can legit get really, really fucked up in there if you don't know what you're doing. So that was cool to see.